Hey, it's Nora. Welcome back to Sleepy Bull. Come sit with me for a bit. I've been looking at something today, and I think you'll find it as fascinating as I do. Imagine waking up at 6 in the morning. You brew your coffee, step out your front door to head to work, and your driveway is empty. Your car isn't stolen. It was repossessed in the middle of the night. Right now, this quiet nightmare is happening to roughly 7,000 Americans. Every single day. And it's not because they are reckless with their money. It is because the math of the modern world just fundamentally broke. Let us rewind a bit to understand how we got here. A few years ago, there was this peculiar moment where suddenly, no one could buy a car. The supply chains froze. Factories shut down. Computer chips literally vanished from the market. So, what happens when everybody wants a car, but there are no cars to buy? Dealership lots stood empty like ghost towns. And when a few shiny new vehicles finally rolled in, dealerships realized something instantly. They didn't have to negotiate anymore. The price tag on the window. That was no longer the price. It was just the starting bid. And this is where the trap was set. Dealerships started adding what they delightfully called market adjustment fees. $3,000 extra. $5,000 extra. Just because they could. People were desperate. They needed a car to get to work, to drop their kids at school, to live their lives. So they signed the paperwork. They took out loans for cars that were marked up 20, sometimes 30% above their actual worth. We call this being underwater on a loan. You owe $40,000 on a piece of metal that is, in reality, only worth $25,000. But here is the insidious part about debt. It doesn't care about your circumstances. It only cares about the calendar. The first of the month always comes. Now, add inflation to the mix. The cost of groceries skyrocketed. The cost of electricity went up. Rent increased. Suddenly, that $800 monthly car payment, which seemed just barely manageable when inflation was 2%, became an absolute anchor dragging families under. People started playing a terrifying game of financial roulette around their kitchen tables. Do I pay the car note today, or do I buy groceries? Do I pay the car, or do I keep the lights on? When you miss that first payment, the bank sends a polite letter. Miss the second one, they start calling. Miss the third? That is when the repo man gets the order. And the repossession industry right now is seeing a boom they haven't experienced since the 2008 financial crisis. Storage lots where banks keep repossessed vehicles are literally overflowing to the point where they can't accept any more cars. Think about that for a second. We have produced so much failed debt that we ran out of physical space to park the evidence of it. Now, you might think, well, if the bank takes the car back, at least the debt is forgiven, right? And this is the cruelest joke of all. No. Let's do the math together. You owed $40,000. The bank takes your car and sells it at an auction for its true, depreciated value. Let's say, $20,000. They take that $20,000 and apply it to your loan. You still owe them $20,000. For a car you no longer drive. A car you no longer even have the keys to. This is called a deficiency balance. They can garnish your wages. They can destroy your credit for a decade. All because you bought a car when the system demanded you overpay. What we are witnessing is not just an isolated crisis of a few irresponsible buyers. It is a systemic unwinding. The auto loan market is a $1.5 trillion balloon. And the needle is getting dangerously close. We built an entire society around the absolute necessity of owning an automobile. And then we turned the price of admission into a lifetime debt sentence. When millions of people default on these loans, it doesn't just hurt the borrower. It creates shockwaves through the financial institutions that packaged and sold these loans to investors on Wall Street. But a crisis this large also forces a reset. Car manufacturers are finally realizing that an 84-month loan at 9% interest is not a sustainable business model. Inventories are piling up again. The balance of power is slowly, painfully shifting back. If you are sitting there tonight, feeling the weight of a payment that is suffocating you, please know this, you are not alone. And if you are in the market for a car right now, let patience be your absolute best friend. Do not sign a contract just because they offer low monthly payments stretched over 7 years. The math will always eventually demand its due. That's all from Sleepy Bull tonight. Go drink some water, close your eyes, and remember, understanding money isn't about getting rich. It's about not being afraid. Good night, I'll see you next time.